he's just nudged. He's now put on to either the middle. He might go to the corner, but definitely goes to the middle pocket, but he was a mile away from the pot.
Well, I mentioned how good Ding's been under pressure, but the feature of Judd Trump's World Championship, if he does lose a close frame like that last one that he feels maybe should have won, just seems to shrug it off and gets on with the next frame. Seems a long time ago that he beat Neil Robertson on that opening day. A lot of snooker been played since then.
Well, he chose to go into them. He's hampered slightly with the one on the left.
Six.
You can see the one on the right, I'm not sure. I don't think the white's gone far enough. That was a difficult shot from there underneath the side cushion, elevating the cue.
7.
He's on the black. And he's at this end of the table. Just needs to try and clear that red that's near the black spot. Well, a couple of good shots.
14.
And he's in prime position. Can't hold for the black here. I feel he'll have to go down for the blue, but this would help matters at this end if he does move this red. He's choosing to take the other one.
15.
Well, again, that's not ideal. He's got a little bit of an angle on the blue. But there's reds that do go to this right corner.
20. 21. 26.
A little short of pace to get back onto the blue there. Play on one of the bulk colours, I think, here. There's 2 or 3 reds in the open, waiting to be potted after this one. Well, I can hold for the green or the brown.
$27.
Let's have a quick look at the yellow as well. Well, that's a plant, but there's distance between them, but there's easier reds than those. Well, that's very clever.
30.
If he wants to be straight on this red, then he can run through. Well, actually, it's not very clever, because it doesn't go. So he's underhit that by a mile. He played on the open red at the back of the bunch, so that's a very, very loose one. Well, I think that's about the worst shot I've seen him play this championship. Well, he will be angry with himself inside because he had a good chance there with reds open to possibly win the frame. He just underhit this, and by a long way. That was the intention.
Well, he's played that with safety in mind, but this red is on to the middle.
in some ways, Judd's been a little bit unlucky there, because if the red wobbles and goes the other way, across the table, he wouldn't have left anything on.
One.
Oh, he's played that with a little bit of check side to square up the white. But I think it will be blue to the middle. He's got to avoid the yellow here. Well, after the fireworks in the first 4 frames, David, a little bit more of a measured pace now.
Yes, it was a flowing start, but a little bit of nerves maybe creeping in as the importance of the occasion sinks in for these two, both appearing in the semis for the first time in Sheffield. Oh dear, well there we are, another mistake, catching the brown full ball. Obviously wanted to avoid all that.
6.
Well, it's a poor shot, really. You'll see you have to avoid them, but there's a bit of distance between the both colours. I'm surprised he went that way. Why didn't he go down the left-hand side of the table? There would have been that red at the back of the bunch there, just above the black. And that does annoy a player when there's reds that are potable and you play a poor shot like that.
Kim Junhui, 6.
Well, the normal shot is to clip off a red for safety, but you never know with this young man. Well, that could have been better. That's a better one from Tingley.
Family and friends watching on a little nervously for Judd Trump. There's his brother Jack nodding his head there. Seems to be enjoying it.
Well, that was close.
His dad on the left. A couple of pals in there as well.
Well, they seem all very happy at the moment, the way things are going, the way their boys performing, and why not?
Don't know whether Judd's mother is backstage. Maybe she can't watch. Ken Doherty's mother famously, when he was in the final here against Stephen Hendry, had to go out. She didn't see a ball of it. She couldn't bear to watch, and in the end bumped into a friend of hers, and it was the friend who told her her son was world champion. She said that she since watched it back on tape and she was still nervous watching it even though she knew the result.
Well, again, That's unbelievable. No right to take that on. Look at this.
Well, I've watched this go in. I'm watching it for a second time, and I still can't believe it.
Oh.
And he's on the yellow.
Well, where do you put the white? That's the question.
3. Sure.
Well, here it is for a third time. But of course he's played it the right way. He's played the cue ball to baulk for safety. So it wasn't just a ridiculous pot. He played the right way, and now he's got his reward by the looks of things.
4.
Well, I don't think he's on the pink.
Well, again, if he's hitting the ball that well, they're all going in the middle. That's a great feeling for a player.
Yes, I mentioned Alex Higgins earlier on. His only real problem when he was playing like this was he would sometimes showboat a little bit and play up to the crowd too much, and that certainly cost him against Cliff Thorburn in the final here. But I don't think Judd Trump will do that. He's a little more level-headed than Alex was, I think it's fair to say.
18.
He's got a good family around him, as we've seen them in the box there watching on.
19. $26.
Clearly fears nobody though, Judd Trump. Just comes out, plays his way.
27.
It's a great effect so far in this World Championship. So he just needs this red, and it should be 4-2 in his favour.
Well, I remember when he beat Graham Dott in the quarter-finals, and they were just having a little chat as they came off
42.
when he just finished that match, and Graham said to him, "You can win this playing like this."
Yeah.
And there was no doubt
43.
at all.
Yeah, and the important thing is he thinks he can win it. He's just won the last tournament after all. And just when you think everything's safe, he knocks in that extraordinary red
51.
down the side cushion.
Ridiculous.
We have a pot success rate. I think we should have audacious pot success as well. He'd be 100% right now.
Yeah. With a 10 points bonus. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Yeah.
51.